y'all. We got Bless the Belly in here with us at 953 Jams. He kicking it with D-Monique. Let's get into it. So tell us what you into. What is Bless the Belly? What does that even mean?
Bless the Belly is food entertainment. So I like entertain people and like promote and market restaurants and do like magic tricks and stuff to make your business flourish.
Magic tricks? Ooh,
magic.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Hold on.
I know a little something, you know?
Okay, tell us how you even get into that. Like, what made you want to go eat?
We all like to travel. We all like to eat. I got sick of fast food, so that's why it's called Bless the Belly. It's putting good food in your body. So you like to cook? Please tell me you cook. You cook?
Baby, I throw down in the kitchen. Okay, wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
That's what it's about. Throwing down in the kitchen and really like support a lot of these different businesses and stuff in Houston and just like everywhere really, because like no matter where you go, somebody is putting in hard work to make sure the bellies are blessed. And so me, like I say, I just want to use my influence to help out. Like I was like, man, you know what? Let me turn up. Let me like do something that's different. Like let me make sure that like I'm helping out my neighborhood by not just giving back like physically with certain stuff, but using my talents and like in the entertainment world and bringing it to like the food world. I don't know how to explain it. You know, I was just going there with it. You know what I mean?
It's your platform. You got a platform you helping.
I'm telling you, come on. That's what it's about.
Talk about Bless the Belly. You said you want to make sure all the good stuff coming in, right?
Right, facts.
So, with your personal beliefs and other people's beliefs, do you eat like pork, beef, shrimp, all that? Like, you know, they said that that's the cockroaches of the oceans and stuff. So, how you get down with that?
I eat everything. Everything is not good for you, though.
So, but you just
I try no, let me tell you why. Because I'm like the trier. Like, I'm like the testee. Yeah,
okay, you like to experience.
Let me test it out. Nah, but really, what it is like, I get, if you want to keep it a stack, yeah, you really not supposed to eat pork, I guess, but I love bacon. I'm in love with bacon.
What's wrong with turkey bacon? You can switch over to
I
turkey.
feel that, but man, it's no real excuse. But yeah, you're right. It's not really good for you, you know. Bacon was one of the first things I ate this morning. I was hungry, and I was like, let me cook some eggs and bacon. It was just like that balance of protein. But, you know, I should have had some fruit. If I had some fruit that was in front of me, I probably would have did that to start off the day. But
what kind of fruit you like? What's your favorite 5?
Fruit? Watermelon, grapes, mangoes.
Oh, I love mangoes.
I'm telling you.
I love mangoes.
Yellow dragon fruit and probably like probably blackberries. I love blackberries. They juicy. Not blueberries. Blackberries.
Okay.
You ain't had no good blackberries?
No, I ain't had no blackberries.
They juicy. Go to Walmart. I don't even like fruit from Walmart, but the blackberries,
they be having it.
They crazy. They probably put something. Yeah, like slick. I'm telling you, you can't trust these people.
What you mean? You can't trust them?
You never know. It be too good. It's too sweet.
I ain't gonna lie. Look, not to discriminate against Walmart or whatever, but I tried that Walmart brand of chicken breast. When I say I was chewing on it for 30 minutes, I said, oh no.
Whoa, yeah, you don't get chicken from Walmart.
Yeah, listen, listen, let me tell you. I am sitting here chewing it for 30 minutes. I said, oh, I gotta throw that whole pack away. So I like to go get a big thing. You know, I live by myself, so I'm trying to like portion it. I said, let me throw that whole thing away. I was chewing for 30 minutes.
Lord have mercy.
I was like, maybe I'm tripping. I know I cook. Like, I throw down. So I'm like, I know I ain't do it too hard.
You cook?
I be cooking everything. You go to my cooking channel. Look.
Oh, you got a cooking channel?
Yeah,
I'm dead. I gotta see something. She talking about she
for real. But I went to the reviews on there and they said, don't do it. I said, I should have looked.
Don't do what?
That chicken at Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
Dang,
you cooked with it?
That's I'm telling you, I cooked it. I chewed it and kept chewing it and kept chewing it.
Chicken
like,
gum.
Nah, never again.
Yeah.
So how did you get started with this? Bless the Belly. Where you started?
It was in 2017. I just came up with the concept and then I started like getting busy. I mean, I've been this type of guy. Like I came up with a lot of brands. I helped a lot of brands. Okay. I helped a lot of people. Okay. So like I'm like that. So I really, for myself, I said something that would be different that everybody does is like what? Eat, sleep, use a restroom. Like these are things you gotta do every day.
Every day, literally.
So I'm like, you know, some with food just came to mind and then it just clicked and then I said, I'm already like the skinny guy that likes to eat and then I'm already like greedy. Then I already don't like fast food.
And greedy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop playing. Okay. Skinny greedy, you know that word. It's called skinny fat.
Skinny fat. Cause I'm trying to figure out how you did this since 2017 and you ain't big.
She cold, man.
How you do that? You been in the gym or
Drink your water. Yeah, I stay in the gym.
Okay.
I actually only started being in the gym probably no lie, like the last 3 years maybe. Like,
okay.
So I ain't been in the gym. I've been on Blessed Belly, what, 7 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was only in the gym the past 2-3 years, so like, yeah. The first 4 years, I wasn't never big, but I was little, and I was like, I'm eating all this food, and I'm still small. That was the problem. I need to get bigger, so we started eating the right proteins and trying to lift and get right, and now we where we at.
Okay.
And I'm cool with that.
So what was your first restaurant, you remember?
You made me want to go look, because I don't know how I can find it out. Because I've been eating, like, you know, but like, I guess my first restaurant, yeah, my first restaurant was probably a restaurant that like, I remember my first restaurant on video was, I think, Midwest Coney. Shout out to them. He just opened up a new location. That's dope. He's from the Midwest. He's from
Midwest Coney, I would think so.
Yeah, but wait for Flint, Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Why you do
Michigan.
That? What you
okay.
You don't like Michigan? Ohio, cool. Michigan ain't cool. Let me find that.
Now you know they do like the biggest little rivalries, Ohio State and Michigan.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, but yeah, that's my guy. Man, and it's just dope to see him do his thing over there. So Midwest Coney.
Shout out to you, Midwest. Okay, shout out to you.
Midwest Coney, man.
So Coney's is like hot dogs and stuff, right?
Right. Glizzies.
So we got it. Do you like your glizzies on the grill like burnt, or you be like, nah?
Man.
It's like it ain't done until you see a little burnt mark. But
I'm from Texas. We don't eat glizzies, man. We straight eat burgers, and seafood. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I like my hot dog.
Y'all don't eat glizzies out here?
Put mustard. I'm straight. I just like mustard on mine. Or ketchup. Or chili.
Ooh, I like chili.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
chili
like
dogs.
relish. I don't eat tomato juice or whatever else they put. I don't
Ketchup?
Okay, that's what that is. Yeah.
Because what is tomato juice?
I'm just thinking, I'm like, what all do they put on hot dogs?
Tomato juice. I ain't never heard that one, y'all. Tomato juice. How you know what's healthy that's coming in you and coming out?
How do I know what's healthy?
Uh-huh.
Like, play it smart. You know what's good and what's not. You know fruit is healthy, right?
Every restaurant you go into, you're not ordering fruit. So
right. Well,
you like to experience new stuff, but how you know it's healthy for you? Like, how you know?
America, a lot of stuff is processed, but I balance my stuff like crazy. People don't see what I do off camera. Like off camera, real talk, I'm for sure eating fruits at the crib. I'm drinking smoothies.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do a lot. Salads for sure. Mm-hmm. I just killed me. What I had? Shout out to Bread Zeppelin. It was like a salad from Bread Zeppelin. Man, I killed that salad. Like I do that. And so if I go to a restaurant and I eat a steak, that's my only steak I probably ate. Like I'm not like, yeah, I'm not eating 3-4 steaks. That's crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like people be, I do meatless Mondays. Sometimes I try to skip Mondays on like no meat and like just fruits and stuff. It's hard. But I'll try to find like alternative like noodles or something that get me full. If I eat a big bowl of noodles, then I'll be straight.
But you remember that? Like, oh, today Monday. No meat.
Yeah, it be sucking. Like it'd be like, dang, I got a new restaurant I want to try. It's Monday. Oh man. Vegan spot. Something like that. Or like salad bar. Okay. But it's still hard, but it's still possible. Like you can do that. You're supposed to fast.
So how you come up with your restaurants that you want to experience? Like you just think of it that week? Like
it started like that, but now they hit me up. A lot of people hit me up, so I'll be good. I'll be like, let me see if I want to check them out. And I kind of gauge to see, but a lot of them be cool. I ain't really seen nothing that was bad yet. That ain't worth trying.
Yeah.
Try it.
You're an experiencer, so yeah, that's good.
The taste tester of the century.
Okay, but when you put in different foods in your body, don't it make you feel a different way? Like
different
sluggish sometimes, or like
I don't eat junk food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Blessed Belly is anti-fast food. Yeah, if you eat, you're gonna feel like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I don't eat that type of stuff. I eat. A lot of foods in America are still processed, but I'd rather it be healthy processed, right? Vegan food is processed. They have to cook it. They have to cook it and do like, to keep vegetables alive and like green, you have to spray stuff on them. You can't just put them in it. They'll be gone in 2 days.
Oh my God, don't hurt them. Look.
No, I'm just saying like.
Do y'all know y'all still eating unhealthy food?
Nah, I wouldn't say it's unhealthy because when you cook it, it's kind of like you burning it off. Mm-hmm.
So you put it on there just to burn it off?
Yeah, to preserve it. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? If I have vegetables and I'm a grocery store and I'm trying to make money and I want it to sit on the shelf for 8 days and I spray a chemical, that's good. Because if I don't, it's going to sit on the shelf for 3 days. But what if people don't come buy all this broccoli in 3 days?
Yeah.
I'm losing money. So I got to preserve them. So yeah, they do that. They spray a little something. But when you take it home and you burn it, and anything that you put fire to it, it's supposed to take the chemicals, all that. If you drop a chicken patty on the ground and wash it off and then cook it. I mean, you burnt all the stuff out of that. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
true.
So it's that, but you know, man, you don't know how much barbecue you probably ate somebody that dropped a little piece of chicken on the guy, picked it up.
Ooh, please don't say that. Oh, please don't do me like that.
Real talk,
please. You said the food and entertainment. So what entertainment part? What's that?
Basically, I do like
you think
challenges. I do,
okay.
yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
I do comedic type stuff. I do challenges. I bring out the fun in food. So my entertainment piece will be like the celebrities I interview on my channel. Man, I do all that stuff, bro. Like I do jingles. People know me for rapping about food. My jingles are like viral online. I got like millions of streams.
Really?
So, yeah.
Well, we about to go listen to one of his jingles.
Turn me up. You know
Hold on. It's on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. They're all on YouTube. Turn me up.
Alright, give me the name. Y'all, we about to listen to this.
What's the song? What kind of song you want to hear? Cause it's like hip hop too.
But what do we bless the belly?
Yeah. Let me see what song I want you to hear. I want you to hear. Play the Skinny Fat song. You play G-Mayne. Type in G-Mayne, Skinny Fat, or what other? Bless the belly. Yeah. Showcase the talent. Play that noodle song.
Noodle song.
Highlight the chefs.
Alright, y'all. This noodles.
I like noodles. You know, we all like noodles.
Let's go to Korea. I ain't tripping, bro. I promise I'm not. China, Korea, listen, Philippines.
Hey, like foodie hip hop. Y'all ain't never seen it before.
Somebody pass me the chopsticks, I'm about to eat some noodles. I'm a foodie, that's by nature, you can see it in my pupils. Just the belly on the map, go and search me up on Google. Get that ramen cause it's common, it don't matter, I love noodles. 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 I be going in, now I don't need your approval. All I need you to do is bring out the best noodles. Do they really know that noodles is you to do is bring out the best noodles? Do they really know that noodles is made out of dough? I don't really care, I just want you to bring some more. Cause it's a staple food, messing with my noodles, I won't play with you. Yeah, you do, but take that too. It's blazing food, gotta have some hot sauce and add the cheese. Mixing up my noodles got me feeling like I'm Japanese. You can't eat more than me, so stop doing all the capping, please. Add so much seasoning, stop the track because I had to sneeze. Achoo. Hey, you know what I do. G-Mayne and Red when I'm talking about food, I be always in the mood. Watch me get loose. I'm so full, I ain't even gonna comment. Move your hand away, you better watch it. Know one thing that we got in common? I love noodles, baby, I love ramen. Pass me the chopsticks, I'm about to eat some noodles.
I'm playing with it, I'm having fun with it, you know what I'm saying?
In my pupils, just the belly on the map. Go and search me up on Google. Get that ramen cause it's common, it don't matter, I love noodles. Say what? I love noodles. I love noodles. I love noodles. I love noodles. I be going in, now I don't need your approval. All I need you to do is bring out the best noodles.
Okay, so was that like the pho? Or
Yeah, so that's like a local.
what's that called?
What?
How you pronounce it?
Pho?
Pho? It is pho? Okay.
I don't give a.
Okay, man.
Pho.
So you like pho? So do you like the 30-cent noodles at the store too? They said that's bad for you. Did you know that?
It's a lot so bad for you.
But did you know that?
Hey, texting and driving is bad for you, bro. But y'all do it. Y'all be in traffic like this. I'll be like, bro, can you get off your phone? Yeah, you know, but when it comes to food, like I say, it's going to be a lot of stuff that's bad for you. You have to choose to do better. People don't realize that they do horrible. You eat McDonald's 10 times a week, that's trash. Your body don't like you, bro. But guess what? If you eat fruits and vegetables, I bet your body be like, ooh, I feel good. Ooh, I feel good. And if you're a real woman, you're going to know what's going on. Because they say when the women eat the pineapples and the mangoes and the hey now, say now.
Say if you's a real woman.
Hey, not yeah, because if you on some BS, then you taste like seafood.
Nasty pennies and stuff.
Yeah.
Not seafood.
Yeah. It's some. Yeah.
All right. Lord. Okay, so do you believe like the different demographics have like the different dietary?
What?
Like you know how like if you go to the suburbs, like the rich side, they food look all healthy and stuff.
Yeah, because they can afford it, yeah. They can afford it. I mean, in the hood, they not trying to let us afford. I mean, they not trying to let us like see a lot of that, but it's a grocery store in every hood, just like it's a liquor store and stuff like that. It's a grocery store. You just gotta support that grocery store. Shout out to Fresh House on Cullen. Them boys in the hood, and they got a grocery store, and you need to go check them out. And the Bless the Belly jelly in there. I got my own jelly. Check out the Bless the Belly jelly. That's where you need to go.
Okay, what kind of jelly you got?
Gala apple, which is like apple cinnamon, and I got peach habanero. Y'all ain't never seen nothing like that. Man, listen.
What you be putting that on?
Cake, ice cream, wings, shrimp. What else we put the jelly on? Of course, bread and butter, biscuits.
Yo, that's some.
No,
like you
think about it. No. Think about it.
Jelly on ice cream.
No, okay. I gotta put you on game.
Yeah.
It's a preserve. It's a jam. So it's real fruit. It's not the gel jelly. So it's fruit. So when you scoop the peaches on the ice cream.
Oh, you did something there. Hold on, wait. Yo, I feel like I want to try this. He didn't
The spicy peaches on the vanilla ice cream. You boys
is
sick.
Like that. For real.
Man, and then the Gala apple. So if you like apple, put the apple on the ice cream like an apple cinnamon because they don't sell apple cinnamon ice cream. I'm just saying, oh.
It's a ooh.
Oh.
When it comes to
Yes. That was Friday when it comes to you. Y'all, we just went over to Bless the Belly with G-Mayne, and now we got Tamar Huggins in here to talk about her business. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Of course. So let's get into it because you have SparkPlug. Yes, the AI. Yes, get into that for us, please.
So SparkPlug is a generative AI tool that I created.
Okay.
And essentially it speaks in African American vernacular English and also in the voice and tone of teenagers.
Oh, wow.
So it functions very much like traditional, generative AI models, but it has that fine tuning on it so that students really feel like it's speaking in a voice and tone. I don't know how, I know you're quite young. I don't know if you've ever watched Romeo Must Die in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
You know the movie. The movie.
Okay.
Okay. It's basically like that. Like taking a Shakespearean adaptation and making it relatable to the culture. So essentially that's what the tool does.
I like that. So how did you get into that? What made you want to go that way?
So I started out teaching tech to students, underrepresented students across Toronto, and we focused on teaching them coding, gaming, virtual reality, things of that nature. I really wanted to give Black students and other students who were underrepresented in tech the opportunity to explore and to learn about it and figure out what works for them so that they could potentially become a creator and an innovator in the space rather than just consuming tech. Because when we look at who's consuming it, like 80% of it, it's us. But when we look at who's creating it, it's like 1%, 2%.
Literally.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So we wanted to make sure that we gave opportunities to students by showing them what was possible and giving them different avenues to explore technology.
I wanted to get into the AI as far as the generating. Do you feel it's an advantage or a disadvantage as far as it's pushing out words and stuff for people? Is it making them lazier or is it making it more like wiser?
I get asked that question so often. It brings me back to my dad. So my dad's an immigrant. He's from St. Kitts. He immigrated to Canada in the 70s and he came as a tradesman and became a self-taught computer engineer. So he's very old school and he always used to say, the calculator's making kids stupid because you're not thinking, right? But the thing is that you can't use a calculator if you don't understand the math. It's like having an open book test. If you don't know what the answers are, it's useless. So we look at it the same way, right? It's a tool, it's not going anywhere, and we have to look at how AI can be used as a tool for critical thinking, for critical research skills, problem solving, creative thinking, brainstorming, general homework help, right? Looking at how they can dispel fake news, right? The fact checking, right? So there's so many ways, but the educators have to be trained on how to bring it into the classrooms so that they know exactly how to blend it in a way that is going to be impactful versus it being a crutch.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you create an app?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so essentially it's a chat bot, right?
Okay.
So it's an assist, so I like to think of it as a learning assistant, an educational assistant, where it works with the student, it works with the educator throughout their academic career, right?
Okay.
So it's really focused on personalization. So we like to personalize a tool based on the student, how they like to learn, how they are retaining information, how they share information. We want to make sure that all of that is encompassed in how the AI responds to them.
Okay.
So that, again, they're getting that personalized experience, because when we look at the education system, a lot of times we're seeing our culture extracted from education,
right,
and violently extracted. We look at SparkPlug as injecting culture back into education.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on the app, it's asking questions to see where they're at, right?
So think of it as generative AI, right? So it is a tool you can go in and ask it any question in the world,
okay,
and it will respond to you. The difference with our model is that it responds in African American vernacular English, and it responds in the voice and tone of a teenager.
Okay.
Right? So it functions the same way that a ChatGPT would, or a Gemini, but we built it equitably, meaning that we didn't just scrape data from the internet. We actually used data from the Harlem Renaissance, the Civil Rights Movement. We used books from authors who are also in the culturally responsive space, and we trained our model on that foundation, because that's really what's missing from the models that everyone is using. A lot of times our culture is either being extracted and then it's creating harm in the community, or they're profiting off of the culture and they're not paying for it.
They will do that.
They
For
will,
sure.
absolutely.
They will definitely do that.
Absolutely. So it's really important for young people, Black people, to understand the value and the power of their data, and that it is valuable, and that they can and should be compensated if their data is being used, and that their data can be used for good. It's really important for them to understand that.
So as life goes and everything keeps changing, how do you keep updating
the platform? So really, it's a large language model. Large language models, there's various ones, and they're essentially trained on all of the topics, all the knowledge in the world. And every so often, those models get updated. Just like how our phone gets updated, you have to say, yes, you want to update this new OS system, for example. It's the same thing. So we make sure that the system that we're using is definitely updated, but we're also doing our due diligence to make sure that the layers that we use to fine-tune the model are also updated and current. So those are things that, again, we are really intentional about, making sure that when a student goes in and they prompt the chatbot, that it's giving accurate information.
That's a good thing, because for a while I was scared of AI, like something like the government and how they take over, the little face thing they would do on Facebook or something, like, no, don't do it, because they'll take your whole little identity.
The facial recognition. Yeah.
But it's actually helpful.
It is, and then I mean, just like with everything else, there's always pros and cons.
Right.
There's always AI for good and there's AI for evil. I mean, we're seeing that playing out right now in the world.
Exactly.
So it really depends on who is behind the creation, which is why I spent my career really pushing for underrepresented individuals to become creators in this space, because everything that's happening now, I knew this was going to happen. For us to have a seat at the table or have our own table, we have to start young. We have to start showing them the possibilities in middle school, in high school. Like, we can't wait until when they're in their late teens, getting ready to go to college, because their life is pretty much already set at that point. We have to start integrating it in meaningful ways and giving them those opportunities. A lot of times what we see in schools is that Black students and other students of color are systematically streamed out of STEM courses. So they're streamed out of the academics, the academic sciences, the academic math. the tech courses, the engineering courses, math courses, all of those things, science. So you have to make sure that you're delivering the content in a way that's relevant to the student. And making something relevant takes design thinking, and design thinking essentially is really looking at creating a product or service around the user.
Okay.
So you have to be able to ask the questions to understand who it is, what are their challenges, what do they want, what do they need, what is the pain point, and then building technology or any product or service that solves for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So SparkPlug, you said you was from Toronto, right?
Yes.
So is it in United States, the whole North America? Is it around the world?
So it's accessible by anyone.
Okay.
Because essentially it's a tool that's virtually everywhere.
Okay.
Anyone can use a tool and make use of it however they want. They don't have to. We designed it for middle school students.
Okay.
Because we realized that in doing our ed tech work over the past 15 years, the crucial point for young people is between the ages of 9 and 12. And so we wanted to make sure that that was the age group that we were targeting, because it's like hit or miss. You can really get them at that point, or if you're not intentional, you can lose them, right? So we designed it for middle school students, but we're seeing, again, educators are using it to create culturally responsive lesson plans, curriculum. We're seeing business people using it.
See, that's good.
Right?
Okay.
We're seeing them using it to tailor their marketing, their branding, their content, their copy for diverse audiences. Yes, and so also what I'm also seeing too are other use cases.
Okay.
Other use cases in other verticals, so other industries, so like GovTech, for example. So we're looking at ways that we can leverage our existing technology and to then apply it to entrepreneurs and apply it to those in procurement. So those who are in the government agencies who are looking to support small businesses or minority-owned, women-owned businesses, we have to find ways that we can connect them to those groups of people in a very meaningful way.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we're looking at how we can take our existing like personalization tool, because at the core, SparkPlug is a personalized context engine, and we're looking at how we can create automation tools that can help businesses scale faster so that they can be awarded those bids by the city, and then looking at it from the city or other government adjacent agencies, how can we solve some of their problems and streamline their workflows so that they are able to find those MBEs, for example, and award them based on, you know, the matching and the alignment that we're able to create, because that's essentially what we've been doing with SparkPlug, is really looking at how we can align content and context to the end user's preferred method of learning.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
So you expanding. That's broad. That's really good. Okay.
Yes.
So where do you see it in the next 5 years? Like you said, you have been doing with the business owners, the educators have been using it.
Yeah.
Are you going to gear it towards like the talking you said as a teenager? Would you switch that up, or?
I would say right now I would leave SparkPlug as is.
Okay.
I think that it will evolve over time in the ed tech space, but there's just so many other applications for it. So I'm actually really excited to see how it grows and evolves in like the GovTech space and the procurement space. Because that's how I started out. Like, I started out supporting businesses who were starting their own tech companies. So I had the first Black and women-focused tech accelerator in all of Canada.
Oh,
and
wow.
so
Congratulations on that
thank
one. That's
you.
Good.
And so over the course of 2 years, our startups went on to, you know, raise over $20 million collectively.
Oh wow, that's really good.
Right. So I feel like it's like a full circle moment that's happening right now. Like, we started out working with entrepreneurs and we realized that, hey, in order to build this pipeline, we have to start with young people. And I spent years building curriculum, running programming, training teachers, now building this AI piece, to then now I'm looking at how I can bring that to Houston, of course.
Right.
And especially now with the potential dismantling of the Department of Education, a lot of schools.
It's taking so much out.
Exactly. And so a lot of schools are going to looking for creative and innovative ways to be competitive so that they can get, the funding or what have you, the resources to be able to continue running their programs and running their school essentially. And I know that there are a lot of great educators here in the city who also want to do what they can to level up their students and build their capacity. So we offer AI literacy training for educators as well as curriculum design and development. So that part of the business will definitely function still here, but I'm also really excited about the potential impact that it can have on the business side as well.
I did have a question. I wanted to know about the criticism. So you did say a lot of people ask about the ups and downs of AI and being scared.
Yeah.
So how do you handle like the criticism or the negative feedback?
So really, it's really hearing them out, especially when it comes to parents or teachers.
That's
right?
where you get the pushback from.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, sometimes because you have to understand when it comes to AI and integrating it into the school systems, there's so many things that could potentially go wrong. There's cybersecurity issues, there's liability issues, there's so many different things. A lot of districts, for example, like in Toronto, don't have like an AI policy. So if they don't have an AI policy to govern themselves by, then they can't introduce a tool, because then how do you regulate it?
Right.
If something goes wrong, what are you going to do? So it's really, sometimes we have to take some steps back and really address what the root cause is and then start to deal with that. So hey, you don't have an AI policy, well, let us consult and help you with that, right?
Okay.
And then for some districts who are much more innovative and further along, they're ready and willing, then we're able to go to that next step of actually introducing the tool into schools and having the teachers go through the training so they know how to integrate it into the schools and into their programming, right? And with parents, it's always about data. So are my children protected? Are you profiting off the data? Are you selling the data? All of those things. So we don't retain anything.
Okay.
When we're dealing with students specifically, we don't train the model on the students that we deal with. Any other user, they have the option to opt in or opt out, but with students, to mitigate some of those risks, we just turn it off completely.
Okay.
So once they close the chat, that's it. I don't have the information.
Okay.
So sometimes we have to do those things and have those safeguards in place, stop words in place, so that we're not inflicting harm on an already vulnerable community when it comes to dealing with kids. We're also dealing with kids of color, right? So there's a lot of history when it comes to technology being misused in the Black community, against the Black community, with over-policing. Exactly, the facial recognition, like Google had a facial recognition tool that they had to dismantle, because it was categorizing Black men as apes, right?
Really?
Yeah, and so it's things like that. And again, it's the bias from the engineers that's playing into that. But if there's more diversity in skill set and diversity in thought, as well as cultural diversity, a lot of those things we can mitigate those types of risks. But that's really the work.
Okay, so how can people outside of the students access the AI, the SparkPlug?
So they essentially just have to go to SparkPlug.AI and sign up like normal, and then they'll receive their username, password, and then they can start using the tool.
Oh, real simple. Okay.
Very simple.
That's good. Okay.
Very
I like that. I like that. So can you give me like 3 things that you have learned that you wish you knew before you started? Because you said you've been doing it for 2 years, you started the business?
So I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years now.
Oh, yes ma'am. Yes ma'am. Okay.
So in terms of SparkPlug, honestly, I have been working on it for 4 years.
Okay.
But I just never released it to the public.
Okay.
Yes. So we released it 2 years ago. To the public. So it's been in the market for the past 2 years. So in terms of what I would have done differently, I would say maybe launching it in the United States first.
Okay.
I feel that with Canada,
because of no regulations and stuff over there.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I feel like with Canada, as beautiful a country
Right.
is, they're very conservative, very risk adverse, especially when it comes to business. And I find the United States is much more innovative compared to Canada. And so some of my business partners would say, you need to be in the States, you need to be in the States, like, we need you here, we need you here. And that's what I feel when I'm in Houston. I feel so much love, so much community. Everyone wants what I have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like a breath of fresh air. Exactly. So I feel like getting into that market sooner rather than trying to penetrate the walls, the layers of walls, cement that can be around some of our school districts.
Okay, so Canada's a little tougher out there.
It's a little,
just to let y'all know,
we're a little bit
tougher.
we're a little bit I mean, we have the reputation of being very kind and friendly.
That's what I thought. Someone said they could leave their doors unlocked. I said, really?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Maybe in certain areas, I don't know, but you know, it's different times now. We're living in different times.
The world keeps changing.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, you guys, that was Tamar with SparkPlug.AI. Yes, yes, yes. So I have a few questions for both you guys. Bless the Belly and SparkPlug, right?
Come on with it.
What dreams do you have for your children and your grandchildren coming from this business?
Ooh, ladies first.
The dream I have for my two daughters, I have a 14-year-old and a 4-year-old, Tally and Jordan. Shout out to Tally and Jordan.
Shout out to them.
My dream for them is that they have a better life than I had.
Okay.
And I had a great life.
Okay.
So I want even more for them. And they don't have to necessarily follow in my footsteps, but I really want them to look at me and say, wow, like, my mom's really dope. You know what I mean? Like, that's my mom. And to be a woman of confidence and a woman of intention, a woman of integrity and prestige, and to have my children look at me as their role model and their example, and showing them what life can look like when you follow your dreams. So that's one of the things that I had to learn as a parent. I can't force my children to be like me, right? Some of them they're really great academically, and some are really great creatively.
Okay.
And I have to allow them to just be themselves. And with my business, it has awarded me the opportunity to be able to invest in their future and whatever it is that they want. Okay. So if my child is interested in drawing and she wants to do cheerleading, or she wants to, you know, do academic activities, like, I can actually fund those things, fund whatever it is that they want, so that they're learning more about themselves.
I like that.
So for me, it's really about access. So I want my business to give my children access and opportunity.
I like that. That was good. That was really good.
I say me. What's the question for your kids?
Yeah, for your kids or your grandchildren.
I want them to be happy, and I want them to have peace. I feel like whatever that looks like, only because, like she said, I lived a good life too. I'm 30, but still, it's like when you find happiness and peace, everything else doesn't really matter. I think we always look at the next person. Comparison has been like the author of Killjoy for a while now, and it just makes everybody like feel like you gotta look like this. Relationship goals, couple goals. I don't really look up to none of that. It's not really a marriage I look up to. It's like they figured it out. Right. So whoever I'm with or however I'm rocking, I want to figure it out too. But I would tell my kids do the same thing. Like, life is about that. It's about going through, learning. Of course, learn. Like, don't just go through life. You want to grow. Right. So if you're not growing, you ain't really doing nothing. But I would tell them to grow. Money is cool, but money ain't everything. I don't know. Make some money, so yeah, you can do stuff. It takes money to do things, but if my kids was to flee the country and be happy somewhere ducked off in the middle of Peru and Brazil, hey, that's lit. I'll come and visit you if I can too. But to me, it's just whatever you feel, whatever your heart desires, to be honest. Be a good person. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah. Be a good person.
Because, that's key. Like, it's enough evil in the world.
Okay.
So we need people that's good. Go be a teacher, a leader, a guider, do some of that. So, Some of that. So,
So you was talking about your daughters, how you want them looking like, oh my God, that's my mother. That's my mother. Give me the best advice that you received from your mother.
My mom, she's Jamaican. And
okay.
yeah, so, she used to say, basically, don't ever put yourself in a position where you have to ask a man for your basic necessities, right?
For sure.
And that's and that's the pared down version of how she said it, right? And it's something that follows me throughout life, because I understood where she was coming from when she said that. And for me, it was really about making sure that you're self-sufficient as a woman.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean that we cannot ask for help. That doesn't mean that we cannot expect help, right? All it means is that whatever it is that you need, you should be able to achieve that and provide that for yourself, and that anyone else who comes into your life is really adding on top of that, versus kind of just looking for someone to give you your basic necessities. Like, that's not what we're doing in 2025 and beyond. We want to be able to be self-sufficient, and we also want to have our own boundaries, so we know that whoever's coming into our lives is adding to us, just as though we're adding to them as well, right? So that's what I would say.
I like that. So what's the best advice your mother gave you?
The best advice my mama gave me would be, giving is better than receiving. Like, give back. Like, she always said, that's why I'm big in the community and stuff like that. She always was like, man, it's cool to get things, but when you give, you should feel good about it. So, like, I had a younger sister, and so whatever I got, I had to give her. And I wasn't tripping, though. Like, I wasn't them kids like, dang, why give it to my sister? I'm like, here. So, me doing that faithfully is so easy. Like, I work at the radio station. I'll never forget, there was a lady. It's funny because I just think of this type of stuff. It was a lady who, it was 97.9 or whatever, but it was a lady who wanted the t-shirt. She said, I've been listening to y'all for years. I want that shirt. And then I was like, dang. And she said it like twice. She said it like coming and leaving or something. And then I thought to myself, I was like, I'm going to take my shirt off. I was like, I had a muscle shirt on, but I was like, I'm going to just give her the shirt. Like, I'll just find one in the truck when we get back, and then I'll have one when I walk into the station. And I gave her the shirt, and she was like, dang, it was just super dope. Like, her reaction was like, wow, like, I'm finna go pin this up somewhere. Like it meant so much to her, even though to me, say if it did mean something to me because I worked there, or I just had it now, I'm just like, bro, it feels so good that, like, she felt that way. I was like, that's what's up. So things like that are very easy for me to do, and I just continue to try to do that in my community.
I have one last question before I let them go, you guys.
Okay.
Do big dreams require more luck than hard work? Or do hard work require? Do big dreams require more luck than hard work?
No, I don't believe in like luck like that. Okay. I'm not like a super, you got lucky. I feel like opportunity, opportunity is different for everybody, right? Because depending on how you look at it or what you're aiming for. But luck, nah, that's tough. Like, I would say positive energy or something would be better than luck. Luck is just a gamble. And you see what gambling do. You can win some, lose some, but I think it's hard work, but it's also like faith and stuff too. You gotta put your head on the swivel. It ain't easy for nobody, but it ain't luck.
For sure.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
Thank you guys for coming on the show today. I wanted to tell people how it affects us, how we grow and put things in our heads, our bodies, and how we keep going. I love that y'all did really good today. Thank you guys for coming on the show.
Thank you.